What's up, YouTube? This is me, Agent Dave, aka Fanatical for Jesus, aka Doll Way, aka David Chu. Just coming to you real quick. I want to talk about um, some signs that show that you have bipolar disorder. This is for anybody out there who is having questions about whether or not they have bipolar. Well, this is going to tell you about a couple of signs that are common for those of us that have bipolar disorder. And if you see that these signs do that you do exhibit some of these signs, I suggest you talk to a psychiatrist or a mental health professional immediately and get some help. There's no shame in getting help. It's something that you have to do to live a functional life, and there's no shame in that. Um, anyway, so the first sign is you have racing thoughts. And what a racing thought is a bunch of interrelated, oh, not interrelated. Some of the thoughts are interrelated, some of them are separate individual thoughts, but it's just a bunch of thoughts that are just like a current flow of thoughts that come like really fast, like, and then they go from point A to point B. Sometimes they go from point A to point Z to point C, and they're just all over the place, and it's just nonstop, no pauses. And when you have racing thoughts, you will tend to talk faster, and you just have all this going on inside your head. And I frequently exhibit racing thoughts at nighttime when I'm trying to sleep, and they keep me up at night because I just have all these thoughts going through my head. And I have yet to figure out a way to combat the racing thoughts besides getting my medication adjusted or getting my medication increased. Um, and that helps for a little while until the medication don't work anymore, and I have to go in for an increase or an adjustment. That's always fun. Anyways, so another sign that you might have bipolar is you engage in high risk behaviors such as overspending and increased sexual activity. Those are two common signs that people with bipolar experience. Um, the overspending is a big one for me. Like, oh, when I get hypomanic, I spend like I have all the money in the world. It's um, it's caused a lot of difficulties in my life because when I get hypomanic, I have no control over like what I spend my money on. I just continue to spend and spend and spend and spend until I'm broke. And yeah, it's not good. Um, what else? So there's another sign. By the way, I'm not doing this video scripted. I'm just going off of my own personal experiences and sharing with you some signs that I exhibit personally that are common for people with bipolar. So, not all people with bipolar experience these signs exactly the same way I do. But the basic gist of the basic gist of these signs is common with people with bipolar disorder. Another sign is you have frequent you have frequent, what's the word I'm looking for? Frequent bouts of mania where you go way up, you're highly energetic, highly motivated, and extremely focused on whatever it is at the time that you're focused on. And sometimes if you go too far into mania, you can have delusional or grandiose thinking. Like, for instance, some of you may or may not know about um my recent bout with mania last year when I thought that it was predestined for me to assassinate Donald Trump because he's the Antichrist. That was a manic episode where I I truly believed that that was my mission in life, and no one could tell me otherwise. And um, so you can if you go into a manic episode, you can have delusional thinking, where you think off the wall stuff. Like you could think that you're sent to kill the Antichrist. You can believe that you are the Antichrist, which I've had that before too, where I truly believed that I was the Antichrist and I was sent um to to stop Jesus Christ's second coming. And I had that thinking when I was younger. Um, yeah. But other than that, not besides the delusional thinking, you could just be extremely. You could get like so high up in your mania where it causes you to be extremely focused on a certain craft. Like if you're an artist, you could stay up for days and nights working on your artwork and like not feel tired at all. Or if you're a writer, you could stay up for days and nights um, working on your book and not get tired at all. Pretty much, you have an increased amount of energy and determination, and it doesn't and it causes and that's they cause you to stay up for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nights in a row without getting tired at all. I mean, any amount of time. Like, I mean, I know I counted up to 9. It could be any amount of time where you stay up all night and all day without feeling tired at all. And if you find yourself doing that, then um, you could be in a manic episode if you find yourself doing that. Also, one more thing about the delusional thinking. A lot of times, if you find yourself having like um most if you finding yourself having gaps in your memory because of when you go into the delusional stage where you believe whatever crazy thing you're believing. Like for instance, when I thought I was um supposed to assassinate Donald Trump, I have no recollection of exactly what I was saying or doing at that time. I only know what other people have told me I did and said, and that's what I go off of because I had no idea. I have no idea when I go into that state what I'm doing, and that's common with people bipolar. They have gaps in their memory because of the delusional thinking. Like it just kind of takes over. Um, Another sign that you have bipolar is you have frequent bouts of depression, and you could go so low in your depression. Like you could you could be manic for like 5 nights or 5 days straight, and then also out of nowhere just dip in your depression right away, and then you could go so low as to become suicidal. But pretty much you'll just have no interest in things that interest you for like things that that you were interested in. You have no more interest in them. Um, you want to isolate yourself, and just your whole posture is just down. Like you no longer food doesn't taste the same to you anymore. Like these are things that I personally go through when I'm depressed. Like I no longer want to eat. I no longer want to read. I no longer want to talk to people. Um, I um no longer feel any energy to want to even get out of bed. I just want to lay in bed all day. And I cry. Yes, I cry when I'm depressed. And it's and I could become depressed for like days too. Like I could be depressed for like 5 days, and all of a sudden I'm manic for 5 days, and then I'm depressed for like 3 days. And this is just what I basically go through when I'm off my medication. When I'm on my medication, the um the depression is down and the mania is down, and I'm more even my emotions are more even. But when I'm off my medication, like I could become manic for like days on end, and then all of a sudden I'll drop down to depression out of nowhere. Sometimes I'll go from mania to depression all like multiple times in one day. And yeah, it's definitely a struggle. It really is. Um, yeah, these are some signs of bipolar and depression. I hope it really helps someone out there to hear this. If you feel that you have experienced any of these signs, I know I personalized this a lot and talked about my own personal experiences with bipolar, but these signs that I mentioned are typical amongst people with bipolar. So if you find yourself experiencing any of these signs, you may or may not, or you may be experiencing, you may be bipolar. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you think you are, I suggest you contact a mental health outpatient place near you in your area and set up an appointment to meet with a psychiatrist for an evaluation. And again, there is no shame in seeking out a psychiatrist. Like, I wish, like, I know there's a stigma on seeing psychiatrists, and people are afraid to for whatever reason, and but it's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, if you had diabetes, you would want to see a doctor, wouldn't you? It's just like that. If you had the flu, you would want to see a doctor to help you out. Well, having a mental illness is much the same way. You have a disease on your brain, in your brain, and you need to see a doctor to help you fix that disease. So there's no shame in seeing a psychiatrist. It's just like seeing a regular general doctor, like for any other disease out there. So don't be ashamed of it. And as always, that's all I have to say. So as always, don't forget to rate and subscribe. Thank you for watching my video. I hope this helps someone out there. I pray this helps someone out there. And God bless you. Deuces.